Thank you so much for listening.
Hi, everyone. Another wonderful day, another fine day, another beautiful day, and we get together and have conversations. It's that 30 minutes where we talk to someone who knows a lot not only about money, but also about taxes. Not only about money and taxes, but also about words. Not only about money, taxes, and world, but also our community. Now, it's easy for somebody who knows you, who knows where you're coming from, who knows how you think, who knows how you go about things. To tell you that, hey, I think if you do things like this, like this, like this, you can become like these people that we all want to become. What I'm trying to say is, if you have someone who for 26 years has been working or with corporate work, so I will not even say corporate America, corporate, no, corporate work, worked for Africa, worked for Europe, now is based in America and is helping the world to get wealthier. It's easy for somebody like that, especially when they come from a place where you come from, when they understand your background, when they understand you. They can easily tell you, okay, this is a problem we have in our community, or this is the mindset that our people have that is not making us hit this milestone. Yeah, today's another day. Like we always say, 30 minutes worth $1 million. I mean it when I say it's 30 minutes worth $1 million. If you feel like what I'm saying is not correct, just join the show and then you see for yourself. Boss, welcome to Toride.
Thank you so much, Doride. Thank you so much for all those who are here watching, who are here to listen to us, to share with us. It's exciting to be here. It's another day, and we've taken upon us to come and share our knowledge, share what we can help our communities with to get to where we want to go. So I'm excited to be here, and let's get going.
Yeah, so boss, today we'll take questions, basic questions from persons them around where they send out for me inbox on taxes especially, and we'll just answer them. But for start with, if some you be the worker, you just stroll, and then some pikimi tell you, it's a boss Charles Njoya. When they say taxes, what do they mean by taxes? What do you tell the pikin?
I would tell you, say taxes. Now, it's something that basically somebody is asking you that you must pay. Anything that you must pay, you must give. It's a levy. You're being levied to give something. It's a tax. So in my village, we have a tax, a village tax for community tax. Every year, everybody has to contribute 10,000 francs. Everybody has to contribute that money, whether you're working, you're not working. That is the village community tax. Now, it's a levy. Anything that's levied on you and you are mandated to pay becomes a tax.
Wow. Boss, what is the relationship between tax and wealth? Is there any relationship between taxes and wealth?
Absolutely. Taxes and wealth, it depends on the economy in which you are. And this is very important. That question is very important. It depends on the tax system in which you are. In different countries, they have different tax systems. In some countries, when you have the higher the wealth you have, the higher the wealth you've amassed, the more taxes you would pay.
Mhm.
Remember, I didn't say the higher the income, I said the higher the wealth. In other systems, the higher the income you make, the more taxes you would pay.
Mhm.
Okay? And higher income people tend to be always people who are going to be wealthy. That's the expectation. But that
Mhm.
doesn't happen. Income is not a correlation to wealth,
Mhm.
depending on how you structure. So basically, in an economy like ours, the United States of America, a capitalist economy, the higher the income, the more taxes you will pay. So it doesn't mean that the higher the wealth. Because here, when you talk about estate taxes, you must make at least over 15 million upon death to pay your estate tax, to be having an estate tax. Anything below that is not going to pay an estate tax.
Mhm.
So basically, there are many things that come into play when you start thinking about wealth and taxes. It depends on the economy. It depends on the economy in which you are. In a capitalist society, the higher the income, the more taxes you would pay. What type of income? Ordinary activity income,
Mhm.
operating income. And it depends on the structure. The way you structure will make you pay more taxes or pay less taxes.
Mhm.
And in an economy like the United States, your taxes, especially for higher income earners, Your taxes, your wealth is in the taxes you pay. Because if you are paying in this economy, taxes
Mhm.
are going to account for up to 50% of what you earn. I mean, just income taxes. I'm not talking about property taxes, sales
Mhm.
taxes, and other taxes that you will pay in addition to that. But if you make the higher the income, if you made $1 million sitting in California, you pay about 49.3% in taxes.
Hmm.
Everything equal, around there, around 49% in taxes. That's practically 50% of that money going to Uncle Sam. So the higher the income, the more taxes you will pay. And if you were to structure correctly and avoid paying those taxes, then you will, that same amount of taxes on that $1 million, which is close to $500,000, it will
Wow.
give you about $5 million in assets. Worst case scenario, $2.5 million in assets. And assets is wealth.
Boss, you talk a lot about structure. Who is supposed to help us structure? Can I do it myself, or is it best for me to get the right person to help me structure?
This is critical. That question is critical. And at times, many a times, most people in our community just think, I will do it myself. I will do my things. Why? Because costs is what is killing our people. We are we're so used to that aspect of thinking that it is cost that I'm looking at rather than benefit. It is more about your return on investment every year. If you want to build wealth and your problem is cost, you have the biggest impediment standing in front of you in building wealth. It's
Hmm.
going to be cost.
Hmm.
Structure must be done by people who are qualified to structure you.
Wow.
Let me repeat that. Structure must be done by people who are qualified to structure you.
Hmm.
If people are not qualified, there is no point in even thinking. Because
Mhm.
what is structure? Structure is everything. If you want to build wealth in America, there is no one person who stands as the person who is going to help you build wealth in America.
Wow.
Because when it comes to wealth, you're thinking about your tax strategist. You're thinking about the CPA, the tax guy. You're
Yeah.
thinking about the financial advisor on the tax side,
Yeah.
on the insurance side, on the investment side, on the retirement side. You're
Mhm.
thinking about the attorney who has to play the game. You're
Wow.
thinking about the real estate broker who has to be in the game. You're thinking about the loan officer who has to be in the game. You're thinking about the energy expert who has to be in the game. All those people are people who come to play the game, and you have to structure in a way that you can leverage these people to basically go to where you want to go. Let me tell you something. I'm just from a meeting with a very smart guy who is a client of mine. This very smart guy, he's planning, he's 44 years old today. And he brought me, we were on the meeting. I had to bring my financial advisor on the investment side. I had to bring the real estate broker. I had to bring the loan. I brought these people in a meeting so that we could talk about this guy's next 15-year plan.
Hmm.
He says by the time he gets to this is a white guy. He says by the time he gets to 65, he doesn't want to have any of his properties on having a debt on it. No, he doesn't want to have debt. So basically, the game is I want you, Charles, with your team to show me, number one, he's asking us, what do I need to do? I have one. I want you to make sure that I have $150,000 this year to start putting in a particular real estate that are going to make sure that I can pay for my office. I'm going to build my office. I'm going to do this. I want you to see the mindset. The mindset is not that, Charles, how are you going to cost me in this game? It's more about, I know what it's going to cost me to do all of these things. It's going to cost me nothing compared to what we are investing in building our estates. So now I have all these people who are giving a blueprint for this guy for the next 15 years. So that by the time he gets to 65, that's 60 in 15 years, 67. I think 65. That's his number. By the
Yeah.
time I get to 65, Charles, I don't want to own debt on property all over the place. I can have other properties, but the properties that I already have that are cash flowing, and even the way my money is coming back in the form of my retirement,
Wow.
is the money that is tax free. And then I have money to take care of everything. I don't want to have debt all over the place.
Boss,
That's the game.
tell us a
That is
little bit. Tell
that
us a
is
little bit
wealth
about
building.
long term planning, because I feel like that is one challenge we have in the community. Our people, most of the times we are only okay. Taxes in don't reach. My find my tax and this and that. Tell us a little bit about not only preparing to file your tax for next year, but also preparing long term, like the guy you just talked to us,
Oh,
preparing
please.
10 years, 15 years, 20 years.
Let me tell you something. Many of the people you see today who are moving and making and they look like they have a lot of money, they will be broke in a very short time because of lack of planning. Many of them will be broke. I'm not saying this as a prophecy. I'm
Mhm.
saying this because I've seen it over and over and over and over in our own community.
Hmm.
Planning is the key to getting to where you want to go.
Hmm.
Planning is the key to getting to where you want to go. When this guy comes to me, this is his birthday, and his only thing is about what do I do for the next 15 years. That is the goal. That is the key to being on our platform.
Wow.
Our platform is about where do you want to be in the next 10 years. When you go, most people only think about taxes during tax season. We call it tax season. Tax season is January, and I'm thinking about taxes. Why do I go and file my taxes? I don't mind if you are a low income earner and you're thinking that way. I don't
Mhm.
mind, but I'm still very concerned about that thought. Because whatever, wherever we are, whether we are making $10,000 a year or we're making $10 million a year, the
Yeah.
only game we should be concerned about is where would I be in the next 10 years?
Wow.
What is the plan that I have to be in the next 10 years? Because everything has to be intentional. Intentional. If you don't plan intentionally, you're going to lose, and you're going to lose big time. I know that. Planning is everything. Tax planning is everything. Estate planning is everything. Structuring to go to where you want to go is everything. There is no price to it. It's not about just going up and saying, I have a business now, I'm running. 50, many of those businesses that we're running today that are making money for us, before you know it, you're going out of business just because of one single thing about compliance. One single compliance thing. I see that every day. And when we talk, people don't listen. Planning is everything. When I see a guy comes to me and talk to me about 15 years, we were talking about 10 years. That's our plan. He says, no, he wants 15 years by 65. That is what I see every day. But in our communities, do we do that? No, we don't. We live on a short term, day to day. That's how we live in our communities.
Microwave lifestyle. Boss, now you're talking about this planning thing, and I know some people who are watching are like, oh, you're talking about a guy who probably is making millions. Or maybe you're talking about a guy who, so is planning a millionaire thing, or it should be an everyone situation?
Let me tell you another plan. Let me tell you another person that I had the same today. I had another client, the other client I had. This lady, her business last year, she owns a business, a small business. That business, the gross income that she made this year, that she made last year, was $140,000. Is that a problem? That's a problem. That's for me. That's a great place to start. You can start from zero. From zero. When you do a 10-year plan, what does that lady come to me for? She comes to me, and my first thing, I look at her and I tell her, you don't have a tax problem. You don't have a tax problem. Instead of talking to you about taxes, instead of talking to you about planning how you want to structure, the first thing we're going to do is to grow your business. We
Mhm.
need to grow your business. And what did I bring? I brought in the marketing team to come in. Hey, I brought the marketing team to take her to the next level. And what does that mean? We are building her to take her business to where she needs to go. And our goal this year is to triple her business, at least triple income from her business. What does that mean? I'm telling you that planning is at every stage. There is something. Either you're planning to increase your income. Remember, I tell people all the time that there are 3 stages to building wealth. 3. Number one is income generation. If you're not generating income, go out there and look for income. Make sure you generate income wherever you are. We are today, the world is a small village. We will find a way to generate income. So income planning is at every stage of where you are. It has nothing to do with whether you're a billionaire or a millionaire or a person who is, even when you are coming out of school, if you don't have a plan, where are you going? It has to be intentional. It doesn't just happen. It does not just happen. And it's especially more important when you don't even have the money. That's when you plan the more.
Wow. Wow. Man, free lesson. That's why we call the segment 30 minutes for $1 million with Charles Njoya. Now you can go out there and check him or check him out on all social media platforms. It's Charles Njoya. If you don't want to look up Charles Njoya, you can look up CHN Advisors. Let me just put out the name, or let's see. Where is that? Okay. Yeah, so it's Charles Njoya, CHN Advisors, or you can go to www.chnadvisors.com where you can actually get so much information. Now, the one thing I want to let you guys know is, beside him doing these videos or doing these interviews, he has a lot of content on his social media platform, which is Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. He has longer videos on there, and we are making plans to start putting more content on YouTube now. They say when you wake up every day, the first persons you start listening to, the people you listen to before you go to bed, will determine how your life will be for the next 10, 15 years. He's already talking about planning. And me and you know it's necessary, it's important. How about we start spending time with him, especially because he's available right now? He's available right now. Do you want the billionaire guys to take him away from us and start? No, because that's what they do. They'll just hijack him, and then he doesn't have time for us anymore, and then we start crying. Whereas now that we have him available, we can continue to watch his video, share his video, because that's the only thing he's gaining from me and you. Not anything. Just watch the videos and let me know what you want to know next. Just watch the videos and let us know what topic you want us to address next. This guy has been working for corporate world, corporate America, corporate this, corporate that, helping them make millions, helping them extort people like us, people like me and you. Now he has decided, you know what, let me switch allegiance. Let me go to my people and start telling them what they have to do to start getting money from those people up there also. The least we can do is make sure these videos have the comments, the likes, the things that is required to just motivate him to continue doing more videos. Follow his YouTube page, follow his Facebook page, follow his Instagram and all of these places. That's how we help him help us build our community. The name is Charles Njoya on all social media platforms, or if you don't want to do Charles Njoya on all social media platforms, you can look up CHN Advisors on all social media platforms. Now, if you don't do social media or you don't want to do social media, you can go to their website, which is www.chnadvisors, and there is everything you will need to start building a better tomorrow. And remember, like he said earlier, it's not just about today. It's not just about next week or next month. No, let's start thinking 15, 10, 20 years. The people who actually win big in whatever we are doing nowadays is people who plan for 15, 20, 30 years. Boss, now I know you have an event coming. Tell us a little bit, talk to us a little bit about that event that is coming up.
We have two events coming up. There's an event. The main event is, we have an event that is it's kind of with dermatologists in the state of California. Mm-hmm. We have an event. We're going to be speaking to dermatologists. They have a big event in California on the 5th. Mm-hmm. And we are going to be one of the main sponsors at the event. We are going to be one of the main speakers at the event, the keynote, the main speakers at the event. We are going to be speaking to them. Mm-hmm. We're going to be speaking to a hall full of dermatologists, and we're talking to them about how to structure. We're talking to them how to build their own economy. We're talking to them how they need to do, what they need to do to meet their aspirations, to meet their goals, to meet their own, to leave their own legacy. And we're telling them how this country is structured. And yeah, and the second event that we're having, so this event is going to be a big event that we're planning on the 5th. It's going to be on the 4th and the 5th in California, in La Jolla, in California. This next event that we have is going to be here in Houston, Texas. It's going to be, so we're talking about the 4th and the 5th for the event in La Jolla. That's on the 4th and the 5th of April.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next event is here in Houston, Texas. That's going to be in May. The dates have not been confirmed yet, but it's going to be an in-person event here in Houston, Texas. And what are we doing? We are bringing together a host of people on our platform to come and teach people on how to structure their estates. Who are we bringing there? Most people in our communities, they invest in those things. They invest in real estate. We're having real estate consultants to be speaking to the people. We have not only real estate consultants. We have what? We have financial advisors who are gurus in the game to come and tell you about how do you make yourself from today, based on wherever you are, how do you prepare for your retirement, or how do you prepare for the next 5 years? How do you prepare for the next 10 years to make sure that you are living the same or even a better lifestyle in the next 10 years when you retire? And then, so we have financial advisors, we have real estate brokers talking, real estate consultants, and then we also have what? We have tax people. We have strategists talking to you about how to structure. And then we have attorneys also who are talking. So that event, the date is going to be announced on this platform. It's going to be on all our social media platforms and with all the speakers at the event. That event is going to be it's going to be a master stroke. If you are looking for somewhere where you want to learn how to do this thing, how to plan your future, how to structure your estate. Maybe you're there, you're paying too much in taxes. Maybe you are not, you want to just build in real estate and you need someone to give guidance on what you want to do. This is the event. We'll start talking about that event within the next couple of weeks. You'll start seeing a lot of material because we are still just fine-tuning the dates and places to do that. So 2 main events that are coming up. Number 1 is the La Jolla event. That's a closed event because we are just speaking to a set of people who have been already this is an organization that they just call us to come and talk to them, help them build their own economy. And then our main event is coming up in the month of May. Let's stay tuned for that one.
Boss, now you said the event that is coming up in April is with a group of dermatologists. Now I'm beginning to wonder, dermatologists, big money people, probably will just pay their fair share and just eat the rest of the money. Why do you think these people feel like, no, we need to fly Charles Njoya all the way from Houston to California, put him in a very comfortable place and have him speak to us? These people who, like, if it was in our community, they'll say, oh no, I'm already making my money, I already have making my big money, I'll just pay my fair share like everybody says, and then I'll go my way. But no, they say, no. We want to fly this guy in, keep him in a very comfortable place, give him all the beautiful things, let him think, and then we're going to give him time to just talk to us about what he knows. Why do you think it's important for them to bring you over there so you can talk to them?
Because of mindset. The mindset is completely different. There are people who believe that they need to plan for the future. They give value to people who they believe can give them value. It is funny. The clients on our platforms, most of the clients we have on our platforms are not people in our communities. I say that again. We come here and then we have our plan to really build our communities. And it seems as if we have to educate and really do too much for people to even understand that we're trying to do something for them. That's very important. Let me tell you something. In our communities, if you will notice that when people retire in our communities or they get retired, they die very quickly. They disappear. They die very quickly. Why? Because of planning. When you're making $1 million, $500,000. The planning we think we know it all. We only do something that will make us a life where we are now living on $20,000 a year. If you were used to $1 million and everybody knows you had $1 million, when you retire, the wealthy, you see the people of this country, when they retire, they make far more money than they made when they were active.
Active.
When they were active. In our communities, we struggle to live when we retire. That's why we die of heart attack very quickly, because we didn't plan anything. I just gave you the example of my chiropractor. This guy is a chiropractor who came to me this morning, and his whole game is at 44. I need the next 15 years to make sure that today he sent me a detailed email yesterday with everything that he has done and what he wants to do for the next 15 years. Now he brings it on this platform to plan for the next 15 years, to make sure that whatever he's making today, he's making far more in the next 15 years. You don't see that in our communities. And the only reason the people who are inviting us to come and talk about this is because we are helping them. We have helped them to build such a platform. And they think that this person, because of what they are doing and what we have seen, nobody calls for you to come to an event, to his platform, if you're going to reduce the value of the platform. They only call for people who add value, extensive value on the platform. Extensive value. So basically, in our communities, the thing we have to do is we have to change our mindsets and start investing in our retirements.
Wow.
Many people they are making money, and even to convince them to just do a little bit to plan for that thing, you have to go heaven and earth. They have to send you. I mean, it's just crazy how we think. And at times I just get crazy and I feel like, why? I mean, this. I don't understand why this guy is not understanding. So the problem is there. We have a problem that is deep in here because we have been so used to everything. Everybody in our community believes that somebody is coming to scam him. Everybody who makes a dime, he looks at it and say, "Oh, this looks like a scam." Everything looks like a scam. So that's our mindset. Our mindset doesn't believe in anything apart from scam. They just think everything is a scam.
And that was the next question I was going to ask you, because I feel like that's one of the main challenge we have in the community. Yes. We don't want to use our medical doctors because we fear they will have access to our medical records. The same thing even with the business. People feel like, oh, I don't really want to talk to this guy because, oh, he's going to know my plans for the next 5-10 years, or he's going to know my financial situation today. And then maybe when he looks at me at Njangi, he's going to be like, oh, that man, even though he's doing that. Like, how important is it for our people in our community to open up, to know that, hey, whether I like it or not, this guy is a professional, I must trust him with everything, lay down, because like you said, the chiropractor guy did not only come with, okay, this is where I want to go to, how can you help me get there? He presented where he's coming from, everything about himself. And then he says, okay, now this is where I want to be. What do you as a professional think? We have very few people in our community who will do that.
We don't.
And tell us about how important it is for people in our community to understand that even if you're making $3 today, go to the professional, let them know that is what you're making, but this is where I want to be. That way they can easily help you.
You know, I tell people about my background a lot. And the reason I tell them about my background is so that they know because I know that in our communities, confidentiality is such a big problem. Mm-hmm. And it's not only for the people. I mean, most people, it's easy for people in our community to sit and then talk about somebody. And that's you just talk. Where I come from, for the last 27 years today, I've worked in places, I was lucky to work in some of the places I worked in. And the first thing about working for people, for high income earners, for large corporations, for anybody, the first thing is confidentiality. Independence, confidentiality. Independence, confidentiality. My wife doesn't know what I do for my clients. My wife doesn't know who is my client and who is not my client. I say this, I can repeat it. If you are used to coming to my office, you will realize it seems as if I'm not married. Mm-hmm. Why? Because that's the way my business is. And if I cannot say it to my wife, guess what? It means that nobody Listen, I don't talk about any client anywhere. If you don't know me on this platform, you will never know me in the community.
Mm.
And that's important. This is what I want. And this is not just because I just decided overnight. That is the way I started. When I left school, I joined PwC, and that is the first thing you're being told, because you're toiling with some of the most sensitive information in the community, in the nation. You're toiling, you have access to it. So you have to have that sense, that thing that you know that because of this information, you can go to jail because of this information.
Mm-hmm.
So my only problem with our community is go do it. If you don't want to do it with me, do it with someone else. Do it.
Mm-hmm.
Do it. Plan. But the problem is that we don't have so many people like me, even in our communities. They don't exist in our community. There's no family office in the African community, as far as I know now. There's none. I'll tell you that. There's none.
Wow.
There are a few people who tell you they do this, they do that, they do that. I am in the industry. I know it. And if you go to the white folks, most people who are complaining about the pricing there is killing. And you don't get people you can talk to. I know that because we are all on the same platforms. You don't get access to those people. Like you can call me and say, oh, Charles, I want this. You cannot call that guy for months. You will not know who to call. Once in a while, you get a single paper. Say, take this paper, put it there. So how is he helping you? How do you understand how you're going? And that's why most people who come to me, they say their biggest frustration, they don't have access to anything. But I tell people that whatever you're doing, you don't know in this economy, 99%, they can say all what they want. They are all stuck. They are all stuck in the rat race because of excess taxes, number one. And if you know it, why are you paying those taxes? If you know it, why are you not building your own community with that? Why are you not doing A, B, C? There's a lot of I know, whereas people know zero. They know nothing. Nothing.
Wow. Boss, thank you very, very much for today. It was another 30 minutes, what $1 million, and I can testify I learned new things. And that's the beautiful thing about you. Every time we talk, every time we jump on a show, every time we have a conversation, whether it's just shooting videos, whether it's just creating content for for the community that you love and cherish so much, it's always a thing or two to learn. Now, guys, go out there and follow him on all social media platforms. Go out there and follow him on all social media platforms. His name is Charles Njoya, or you can look up CHN Advisors, or you can go to www.chnadvisors.com. Man, the wealth of knowledge, the amount of knowledge this man is putting out there is crazy. And he's doing all of this for free. He's doing all of this as in, you know what? I need to help my community. I need to get my community to where I want to see my community. How about we as a people also? The least, just the little thing we are supposed to be doing is go out there and watch these videos and comment these videos and share these videos. And guess what? You might watch a video and you're like, oh, I know about this already. How about you push it to the next person? How about you just share it to the next person? Thank you guys for today. Please, if this is your first time on Toride, remember we have a lot going on Toride. We have a lot of content. We have a lot of videos. We have a lot of wonderful things going on Toride. Just go to our social media platforms, whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube, whether it's TikTok. We are slow on Twitter. Instagram, we post every now and then, but at least Facebook and YouTube, we have a whole lot, especially going on Facebook, back-to-back live shows, so many things. By the way, we have something wonderful that is coming up. It's titled The American Dream, and it's a segment where we go to persons, we go to families, we go to people who came to America, probably with 0 francs CFA or $0 in their pockets, and today they are in the millions. So we'll go to them, we'll try to showcase their career, try to showcase their lifestyle, and listen to what they have to tell us about the community. It's going to be an interesting segment. I've already had some interviews lined up already, and we'll probably start dropping interviews as early as this month, as early as Sunday. Like I said, the title of the show is going to be The American Dream. Now, it's going to be a lifestyle, it's going to career-orientated video. where we just go to these persons who we consider at least they have achieved the American dream or they're on their way to achieving the American dream. We talk to them, showcase what they're doing, showcase where they live, showcase their lifestyle, showcase their career, but most importantly, have that conversation with them that will help another person, that will help the next person realize their American dream. It was a beautiful one. See you guys on the next one, which is in less than 15 minutes. We're going to be talking about something really, really interesting.